Hello there, it's Sean. I'm back again, and this time I'm starting the first decal application. Now, of course, the roll bar has already been put in place, but I'm going to try anyway, putting 165 and 166 in place. I've got the ship upside down, and of course, with the help of the toothpicks, and going from either side, I hope to be able to draw the decal along there. We're going to find out. Have to cut 166 around its border here so that I can get it in place. So all the grid lines show up in that area. We'll see if this works or not. I didn't realize at the Hobby Club meeting when I was so eager to assemble the entire ship together that it would have been easier to put the Aztec decals on some of the bottom surface. Fortunately, the roll bar is really the only piece that would have needed to be separated to get the decals in place. The rest of the decals pretty well are good where they are. So once again, we'll get the Q-tip in here. And that part of the roll bar, good. Okay, so just go like this. At least you can still get the Q-tip in there. That's good. There we are. All right. So that's that side of it. Remove the decal with the vice grippers, the tweezers. Yep. And I'm going to go get a pencil so I can pick a color for the Reliant. Well, I always pick green anyway to show the decal's been applied. All right, let's see if this works on camera here. A bit more refreshing with the water on the underside. It's easier to get it off its base if you do this. And if you can approach it from the side, you just might have some better luck here. I've got to find a toothpick that can do the job. So I will be back. I'm not going to try and do this on camera. Can't believe it, but I think I managed to find a way to get it in place. You have it, you put it in this way where you can reach, and then you flip the ship over so that it'll fall into place on the proper side of the decal. So yeah, you put it in on the bottom surface when the ship is right side up, but the sticky side is pointing towards the upside down surface because it's a lot easier to reach that way. And then you flip the ship upside down, and gravity and a wet Q-tip will help the decal settle into place. And since it's on the underside of the piece anyway, it's not like you're really going to see it if it's out of place in any case. And that's pretty good. It's pretty settled into position. So that's a good way. Now, as far as the RC, the band, well, you can get at that band even from the front here. So that'll work. It's just getting it on the other side. But if you just reach it in from this way, yeah. So you put it on when the ship is right side up, but you put it on sticking to here. So you have to get the water in place, of course, right? Here we go. So it'll have something to stick to either side of that hump there. Okay. So it is possible, but it is, as they said on Facebook, a bit tricky. Can't be done. All right, can be done. Now, of course, when it comes to the strut, you see, you can put it on that side just fine. However, if you turn the ship upside down, you can get the Aztec in here as well. just fine. See, so every other part of the ship is going to be pretty easy to reach except that one little section. But once you've got that, you're fine. All right, so we are going to try this now. Nudge it off its backing. Okay, okay. Put the thing right side up. Realize that it has to approach this way. So like this. Okay, okay. So here we go. So most of it off the backing, right? And then you approach like this all the way through, and then you turn it face down. Let gravity do the work. Yeah, I know, I'm doing it on camera. Then you grab the decal. There you go, off the sheet. You bring it forward. Okay, the backing is off. Now we look through the light and you see, all right, so it slid off to the side. That's no problem. You just slide it up into position after moistening where it has to go. So it is a lot easier to get it onto the side of the decal in either case anyway. Yeah, that's no problem. Just ease it into place onto the ship, easing it back, of course, too. There you go. Yep. You just grab your finger, you pull it back like that. Oh my gosh, that's almost correct. Almost in place. You just have to nudge it over a little bit. Maybe a brush. Maybe a brush will help. Let's see if the brush will help. Yes, I'm doing this on camera, and I'm trying to describe what I'm doing. Because I know it's hard to see. I'm trying to get it so I can see what I'm doing. Ah, there we go. Excellent. Pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. There you go, there you go. Oh, a bit much. There you go. And the other one, well, you just pull it back a bit. Little more. Well, it's almost there. That one is there. It's just a bit over too much. So you have to get in from the front here. Nudge it back a little bit. There you go. There you go. Yes. Excellent. And if you can lift the other one a little. Okay, that's good. That's good. So what you do now is you get the Q-tip in here and you blot it down. And we'll get the brush in place with the micro sol. We will solidify that decal into position, both of them now, because that's the thing. So there you go. And if you solidify it from front to back, it might actually ease it back a little bit just to get it into place. And this one, there you go. Excellent. Excellent. There you go. Okay, so it is successfully in place now. That's good. And that was the most difficult part because there was as little of the surface available as possible. If you look at 164 and 167, they're a lot more visible. So that should work a lot better. So I'll be back with those two applied. Which, of course, eliminated the need to make these green. by hand, because now you're going to have a great decal. It's going to cover them anyway. And that should be a lot easier because there's a lot more of the decal to get. You just have to make sure that it's up against its grid line. All right, so 167 comes first. Well, I wouldn't believe it if I couldn't have seen it, but let's see if you can get the camera to look. It's in there, and it's pretty well aligned with its grid line. I mean, it's not its grid line, it's call them radiator fins. That's probably what they are anyway. They're probably cooling fins for the actual weapons pod. There. That's more like it. As long as it's not nudging off the front, and it isn't, which implies that it is completely smooth and filling only the dimensions of the space it is designed to fill. Excellent, excellent. So that is decal 167, which it was a lot easier to put it on from front to back. So now decal 167 is applied. So now it's just 164 left, which goes on this way. And that'll be the bottom of the tail fin put on. And I will just move to the opposite side of the ship and start the front bow Ventral Aztecs. Now that the hard part's done. Nearly done. Let me see if I can get a better angle here. There, that's better. I'm going to try to put this one on camera. That was a bit tedious, but you saw how I did it anyway, and I described what I was doing the whole time. So you just copy the same thing for the other side. And always approach from the front, too, so you can drag it into position. Actually, let's see if you can see this, because I think I found an even better way. So you hold it like this. That's where the film ends. Hold. Pull this out. And then keep it down. Let gravity hold it. And then you only have to nudge the decal into position slightly, like that. And it's aligned with its grid. In fact, it's aligned better than it was on the other side. And then all you have to do is nudge it a bit. There you go. And then you just nudge it with the water to put it down. You nudge it with a dry Q-tip to get the water out. Oh, let me tilt the camera so you can see. So it was nudged into place. I'm just using a dry Q-tip to nudge it down now. Oh, see, it's poking out over the edge. You don't want that. There. And you make sure it's not pointing out at the edge by looking at it this way. See? You have to nudge it in place just a little bit. A little bit more. A little more. Tiny bit more. There you go. See? You can't see the edge of the film on either side. So you keep it flat. You get the micro sol. You have the brush again. Hold the ship like this. Put the microsol in place from this side right to the edge like so. And there you go. You got the decal on the bottom side of the weapons pod, even while it was attached to the ship. Now that was difficult, but as I predicted, not impossible. And now I know it's hard to take a picture of it, but believe me, I don't lie to myself. So you can say that decal step number 4, the application of the roll bar's bottom decal has now been successfully accomplished. Highlighting the guide now to indicate that. And there you go. Now, of course, the downside is, of course, even with the roll bar attached, you can't really see it. But let me see if I can get it under the light. And if you can see... All right, let's turn on the phone's flashlight. Turn off the overhead light for a moment. There you go. See? See the dark gray? See the dark gray in there? No, I know it's slightly misaligned on that side, yes. But this side is near perfect. So you take that picture. And you can see the gray at the back there. So that's good. So now you're going to turn the ship around and we're going to go alternating Aztecs all the way around. Of course, we only have about 3 minutes of footage left tonight. I'll just go as far as I have footage room. As you can see from the guide, once I get the camera into position, as you can see from the guide, if you have the ship this way, the decal numbers are right side up, and that should say ER133. So you start from the back, right beside the raise thing, which has the color on it, so that you know exactly how to put it in place. Excellent. And you go all the way around. Now, the interesting thing is, there appears to also be a section that has an engineer... here we go. See? Oh, one moment. Look. The bottom sensor palette. Now, there is a slightly longer part towards the front, and I think that's where windows go as well, because on the back it has the grid lines. See those grid lines? Well, those are the grid lines that are here. So you know that is an angle towards the front. So that's the sensor dome. But because it's higher than the Aztecs, you want to put the Aztecs on first so you can get something useful accomplished. I didn't realize that 134 and I assume 133 are tiny, 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 thin little pieces. Yeah, look. Look how tiny it is. So what I'm going to have to do with that is actually put it along the one tiny little strip that remains. Okay, well, I'll do that, and we'll see how it looks with our last minute of footage. All right, so here's a picture of the guide showing which decals I managed to apply. Here's a picture of the ship showing those decals applied. Yes, they're very subtle, I agree. But that's how they should be, subtle, so that you don't see them too much against the ship. Subtle. I want them to be subtle. And I know they're somewhat shiny right now. There's a good angle. Okay, so that's about all the footage I have left for tonight. Tonight is Wednesday, July 10th. So we'll see you here tomorrow when I start applying alternating Aztec patterns. And then maybe we'll get the entire bottom saucer done tomorrow night, as well as the bottom of the nacelles. See you then. Bye-bye. Back again. So, just have to get my green highlighter. I put some of the stuff off the phone so that I can do the guide again. Well, I don't know if I was recording any of that. Anyway, I'm starting to get the pie wedges I need to apply to the ship so that I can go in some alternating panels here. I put the footage that I filmed just half an hour ago onto the computer, and I brought out my highlighter again so that I can outline the pie wedges that I'm doing tonight. And remember, on the bottom of the ship, as you can see from the box, there is no trace of hatch colors, not like the Enterprise. So we're all right there. Okay. A little more. Here, let's use this one. That'll get enough water all over the pie wedge. Good, it'll slide nicely. Aha! That one does not have an outer rim like the others do. See? So you have to be, but it only goes right up to there. Okay, good. All right. Oop, that way. There you go. Okay. So I'll be back once I've put it in place. All right, I've got the decal in place. All I need to do now is moisten it enough that I can slide it into the proper position. And the good thing is this decal almost has a trace of bluish gray in it. So that's good. Now, as you see, unlike, you see how it is, wait, let me just move the camera a bit. Give me 1 minute. There, that's better. Now you can see everything. As I was saying, you see this pie wedge? Well, you don't want it protruding into the center section, so you have to actually nudge it out just enough, and it butts right up against the nacelle. Now, you have to use a toothpick or something to nudge it over. Come on. Oh, not that much. Well, all right, that much. That edge. There. Okay, now it does go slightly across the grid line, I agree. So let's just nudge it slightly across the other grid line too. Come on. Not that much. There. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to get that toilet paper again to blot it dry. Paper towel's too rough, and the Q-tip doesn't have a big enough surface area to get the job done, so toilet paper has been my standby for the past 6 years now, so I'm not shying away from it now. And of course, you always use the microsol once you've got the decal in position. Oh, it's nudging up a bit, but there's nothing more I can do. So, there's only so much I can do with that nacelle strut in the way. So, I'm just going to leave it as it is. There you go. So you mark the guide with green. Forgive my hand in the way for a moment. Oh, well, actually, let me see if I can mark it with you watching. There you go. That's better. I am left-handed. Oh, let's approach from the bottom. There you go. Now, of course, it goes all the way up there, of course, right to the edge. All right. And now we get a picture before we prepare the next decal. So there is a picture of the ship with the Aztec on it. And if I zoom in as much as I possibly can, let's see here. Zoom right in and there. So we go around the circle. That means R128 is the next one, which is this one. We're going to do the even numbered ones all the way, alternating around the thing, and that should be enough for tonight, considering the amount of footage we have. And then tomorrow night I'll come in and fill in the missing pieces and do the bottom of the nacelles. That should work. Now, when it comes to decal 128, considering there's a whole section of central decals here with windows, I am going to try to nudge it to the edge of its circle. The reason it couldn't get to the edge of the circle before is because the nacelles are in place. Now, again, it appears that I should have assembled the saucer without the nacelles in place, because it's hard to get it nudged back enough. But again, this is the bottom saucer. On the top, you should, theoretically, be able to do things more evenly, although there will be some trimming there, and I hope the decals account for that. time to get it out of the water. Let's see if we can put one on while the camera's running. I would have said put one on film, but that's 2 ons in a row, and don't know if I can take that. All right, shake it out like a dog, as Mrs. Doubtfire said. So there it is. That's number 128. Goes here, so actually make it match its orientation so that I don't lose track of where it has to go. I love these gray decals, and I love that I picked a more subtle hull color for them. Because you look closely at the Enterprise refit, see the Aztecs, but it's subtle, and I like that. Looks better being subtle, but you can see a part where I missed filling in the hull color there. It's still a bit whiter than it should be. But if you look at the Reliant, it looks pretty even all the way through, so that shouldn't be a problem with this one, because I painted all the parts while they were on the sprue tool. So let's try part 128 again. Remember, this will all be covered up with a central thing, so if it's nudged up a bit, if it's out of range, shouldn't be able to tell too much. All right, that is almost exactly where it should be, but you still need some moisture to get under the decal on all sides. Slide it into position now. Yeah, that's pretty good. There you go. Okay, good. So pat it down. This one fits into position a lot better. But what I am going to do, perhaps I won't have to, is take it off the phaser, or you could just put it over top of the phaser. So now we know that number 128 is done. We move on to 126, and we just go around the corner with even numbers. Not sure how much I'll get filmed tomorrow, because I actually have a unboxing to film for a model kit I picked up this week, and I have still the toy channel video to film. That's about the only channel that's really getting, for the most part, current videos this week. The other one is getting videos from the past. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get all the RoboCop footage put up this before I move. So posting those videos is going to have to be the transition build as far as my posting schedule on YouTube. But the what I'm actually building during the move is model number 43, this Reliant. Although considering the speed at which I'm getting it done, for all I know, I may be on the 1,000 scale disco prize before I move. And remember, I can transport the spray paint with me and the box that it's in, so it's easy to spray paint even at my parents' house in the backyard or something while I'm in between homes temporarily. Because you have to wait for all my stuff to arrive on the moving truck before they can move me into the Wasaga Beach place. And as far as Sean's Travels is concerned, I'll give an apartment tour, of course. But there'll be no external views, so you don't know. And of course, it'll be after the movers have set it up, so no clue as to where it actually is. Privacy of the homeowner, you know, and all that. By the way, they're okay with my YouTube channel plans and everything. They have no problem with that. And even going to let me spray paint on the property. So that's even better. That's good, because there's a spot under their deck for the garbage and recycling, kind of like the big wooden shed that exists here. Oh, that's very interesting. Look, it's not entirely all the way to the outer edge. See? Not entirely. Just out of that grid line. That's it. And the other one couldn't do that because the nacelle pylon was in the way. But that's the only place where there was something in the way preventing it. But to make it match, I'm going to nudge these two forward a bit as well. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. There's another reason. I tried to slide it underneath. It just wouldn't slide either. It's like wedged right in there. Okay. So we got number 126. There it is. Oh, don't do that. You don't want it to be wet on top of the Q-tip box because that's what the saucer leans against. And believe me, when you start doing the top in a few days, the bottom with the fresh Aztec decals will be leaning against this box as well. It's at the perfect level. That's brilliant. All right, let's see here. Try to get the bend out. Now, move it on the sheet. Come on. Cold water is a bit problematic doing this, but it does appear to be working now. So I'm going to rotate the ship 90 degrees to port or starboard. Yep, on here. So take this, put it in there. Carefully. All right, now there may be a bit of adjusting needed, of course. There is, yep. So that's where that big Q-tip comes in. Just put all the water all along the edge so that you can move it. All right, now up, 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 up. There you go. Perfect, excellent. Put the toilet paper down. Get all the water out. Excellent. Oh, and don't forget, I've been forgetting, put the microsol down with the brush on both of them so that you can get the decal to suck right down to the hull panels and remain in place. Okay, good. There you go. So part 126 is on, 124, 122, 120. Oh, that's interesting. Wait. 124, 122, 120, and then... Oh. Well, I guess there will be one back here, but I'm not going to do that. Alternate exactly, but it's not an even number of hull panels. Got it. So there's only about 3 more to put on. Now 124 is on this one. So there are a few, slowly cutting apart the Aztec decal sheet, and of course the odd numbered parts are going in the small Ziploc bag so they can be saved for, probably tomorrow. If all goes well, tomorrow I'll have the entire bottom saucer done. All right, so decal 124 is now in place. I will just apply a couple more, 120 and 122, and then I will be done for the night, and I'll take the pictures while I still have a few minutes left of filming room. I've loved Aztec decals for the past 6 years now, and it just gets better with each ship. Of course, as I remember from the TrekWorks video, and rest in peace, Boyd, he showed that the 1,000 scale Discovery Enterprise decals were fragile, but they could be pieced back together with a toothpick if you kept a hold of the missing piece. So I'll be watching his videos when I start building model number 44, the 1,000 scale Discovery Enterprise. Yeah, just trying to loosen the... All right, it doesn't want to loosen, then you soak it some more. And I thought that water was warmer than it is right now. All right. Come on, come on. There we go, there we go. It's easier if you slip it off the decal from the side because it doesn't have to slide as far, and that gives it less risk of breaking, and it's a lot easier to just, with 2 fingers, hold it in place, slide the paper out from underneath, and you've pretty well got it in place. Now, you can still see? Perfect. So what I have to do is re-moisten with the Q-tip, get the water under every side, and then just nudge it over like so. Nudge it back a little bit. There you go. Up, this way, this way. Got to go over the RCS thruster. There you go. There you go. Okay, now this one's pretty well done for, so yeah. Do this one. Okay, here we go. Don't slide too much now. Stay in place. And then you apply the microsole again. And you keep it in place that way. Because it'll suck it right down to the hull. Okay. So that's decal 122, and there's only 120 left, and then we'll get the picture because we only have about 2 minutes worth of footage room. Now, if this last decal, number 120, oh, wait. It's not going to have any troubles. It would be number 119 that would be the problem child. The one that would butt right up against the... So you don't have to worry about this with this last one. That's good. But this is where I'm stopping for the night because it wasn't an even number of decals. And you just want to have the alternating ones in place. But it needs a bit more loosening in the hot water. Well, it's barely warm. All right, so decal 120 is in place, as you can see. And, gee, that's dim. There, that's better. Decal 120 is in place, as you can see. Let me see if I can get a picture of that. There you go. All right, now let's see if we can get some pictures of the ship itself. So, there it is. And, of course, from this angle, there it is. And we'll turn it. All right, there you go. And one more, which is aligned with the instructions, by the way. All right, so there's the final picture for tonight, and we're just about out of room. We're under a minute left, so that'll be all for the Reliant build for tonight. I'll have another 19 minutes of footage to dump onto the computer now so that I have room for the unboxing of Super Pursuit Mode Kit. That is the model that I am going to unbox tomorrow night and post this Friday, July 12th.